One of the most intimidating things for many of us to do is public speak, especially if we're going to speak to our leaders, and that's why we are privileged in Pottawatomie County to be the only county with 2 ladies as sitting commissioners simultaneously, and of course that would be Miss Melissa Dennis and Abby Thompson. Thank you, commissioners, for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
What a gift it is for you guys. I would really like to know, did you realize that you were going to be one of the first ever women when you got elected to the county commission?
I did, because I had been in county government for 30 years. So I knew that this was a man's world, but it didn't faze me, didn't stop me, didn't slow me down, and it still hasn't. And it is slowly turning over to be a woman's world.
Well, as our community, we stand as the community with the most women-owned businesses in the entire state. So how fitting it is, Commissioner Thompson, when you came on board, you were one of the first 10 females elected. Do you know exactly where you were?
I think 7, around number 7.
So what drove you to be a county commissioner?
So actually, my co-commissioner here has always been a hero of mine. She was a fellow commissioner with my grandfather, and I got to learn a little bit about her. She's the reason why I actually wanted to get into county government, along with my grandfather. But I thought it is so cool to see her in a man's world. It is so cool for her to have the authority and power that she has, and the respect that she gained.
Well, that goes right along with something I'm curious about, Commissioner Dennis, is there's a difference, it seems, between the national government, the state government, and even a municipal government. You really do hold an authority to be able to make decisions. Talk to us a little bit about that. How is that different, and how does that help our residents?
On a local level, I've always said your local government is the closest to the people. I've said that forever. And we really are, because depending on the people who are actually my boss and Commissioner Thompson's, we need to know your thoughts, your needs, your wants at a local level. But if you have those at a state level and a federal level, we are that connection to your state officials and your federal officials. So we are that connection where you couldn't pick up the phone and call Senator Langford, or I can, and she can. So we are that connection, that intimate connection between the people and the decision makers on a state and federal level.
Commissioner Thompson, talking about connection, you and I really coming into county government and an understanding in just a short period of time. County government is really solutions-based. You sit in a seat to be able to offer residents solutions.
Absolutely, and that's what I usually tell my constituents is I see myself as a solution finder, a problem solver. I feel like we are very easily accessible, and that's what makes us different as far as on a county level. You can typically find me or any of my co-commissioners here at this building or at our barns. You can pick up the phone and call us, and we usually have a 24-hour turnaround time. And I really think that is a big advantage because the people can be heard.
In your time as commissioner, Commissioner Dennis, you have spent a lot of working hours with men. And I'm wondering, do you believe gender plays any kind of role in making a great county commissioner? Why or why not? What makes a great county commissioner?
In my opinion, gender plays no role. I think it's based on, we are servants. And if you are a good servant, then you will be a good county commissioner, because ultimately that's what we are. We are serving our community, whether they're city, whether they're county, it's city limits, we are serving the public. And if you cannot be a good servant, you cannot be a good commissioner, because it's not about just roads and bridges. It's so much more. I've always said I wish that's all I had to worry about was roads and bridges, because this would be an easier job. But if you can't listen to the public and understand them, you may not always agree, and that's going to happen every day, but you have to let them know that you are listening and that you are trying to solve all the solutions with all the solutions you have, and you are the public servant. We are here to serve you.
Well, talking about influences, 3 of the most influential people in my life were women. My mother, Betty Young, and then of course my wife, Danny. Commissioner Thompson, how do you feel, or share with us how you feel maybe perhaps thinking differently can help our county residents?
So I think that women have a willingness to listen, first of all. I would agree with her. Gender does not make you a good county commissioner or not a good county commissioner. However, I do think that women are usually able to think outside of the box. It has definitely been a man's world for a long time. And so with that comes change. And I think that we are able to offer suggestions and listen to them and be willing to find a solution, whether it be different than the current situation or solution. We usually go outside and think outside of the box and find something.
What's the biggest lesson that you've learned coming in just 18 months to 24 months into your tenure as a county commissioner? Is there something or some experience that really stands out that said, I really learned right here? Tell us about that.
So I think what I've learned the most is that the rural communities sometimes feel forgotten. And thankfully, being a commissioner, I've had the opportunity to shed light on situations that they feel, they have no voice. In that, though, I have learned that not everyone is here to be your best friend. It's hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The job that we do is not an easy job. You have thousands of people that you answer to every day. And so along that, I've learned that you have to protect yourself. It's like any other situation or business. You have to protect yourself. That's been a big, hard lesson to learn, that not everyone is out to shake my hand and be my friend.
Well, Melissa, you've certainly, Commissioner Dennis.
I'm Melissa.
You certainly have had time to experience a lot of different things as a commissioner. What is your favorite part about being a county commissioner?
I like accomplishing things. I like putting new things into play, whether they are big or small. This building is a big accomplishment. It was a vision. I came into office in 2011 as a county commissioner, and in 2012, I started talking about a new county administration building because we were outgrowing ourselves. And so it's taken a while, but that's just part of it. That's one of the hardest things for me is I'm a go-getter, and it's either all or nothing. And so it's hard for me to get a vision to want something and then not turn around and just start the next day. But there are things that you have to kind of slowly work up to, and it's a process.
Nothing is fast in county government.
In government as a whole.
Period, yes.
Right. But I like serving the people. I love to be able to answer the phone or answer an email and be able to solve a problem that they have. Or if I can't solve that problem, explain to them why I can't, whether it be the law or whatever, explain to them why, and let them walk away with a better understanding of why I can't, physically do something or financially do something, but here is what we can do, and I can help you get to this point. That is the most gratification to me.
Well, one thing that I've noticed recently, Melissa, is first of all, you command the respect you've earned. And many times in a position so long, you might lose sight of others. But when Commissioner Thompson came on, I have noticed you really mentoring her in being a county commissioner. I see you guys talking and discussing, and you've really tried to help Commissioner Thompson.
Well, that's why a lot of our meetings, I think, are so long, because we can't have discussions outside of our county commissioner meetings. Therefore, in the meetings, I try to explain a little bit past the yeses and the nos of why we're doing what we're doing, and there's so many other little things, but
And I ask a lot of questions.
and rightfully so, because you cannot, there is no way. I've been in county government for 33 years now, almost 33. You cannot, in her first term, which she's in her second year, in her first term, which is 4 years, you are just beginning to crack that egg. And there's so many things that this title takes on that's so different from the private sector, so different from the city municipality. There's so many things that are so different that in county government that we don't operate like the rest of some of the
world.
the world. And so there's just a lot to learn.
I think one thing that's great about county government, though, is how transparent we are.
Very transparent.
We are very transparent.
Very transparent.
And I appreciate that about county government.
I like that appreciation because the next thing I want to ask you, Commissioner Dennis, is tell us what you think the greatest accomplishment is for your fellow next to you in just 18 months as a commissioner. What is it that really stands out about Commissioner Thompson?
She is willing to sit down, whether it be city, tribe, whoever, and she has worked out several grants, and she has accomplished road building that working with the tribes can be intimidating. I mean, let's just face it, that can be intimidating, and she doesn't let that stop her. She has marched right up there, made the appearance, set the meeting up, and she's getting roads paved, and she's very grant knowledgeable. So the county has acquired some money just within her tenure that I wouldn't have known about, So there's a lot of grant opportunities out there that she's on top of it.
We all know money pays the bills, and that is so important.
Absolutely.
I would like to kind of ask the reverse for you, Commissioner Thompson, if you would. What about Commissioner Dennis has impressed you the most over the last 18 months?
I think the respect that she has when she walks in a room can be breathtaking.
Thank you.
She is one of my biggest mentors, and so my goodness, one accomplishment, the list would be too long, but the fact that she stays in the know. You can ask anyone on any board, anywhere serving in the community, and they know Miss Melissa Dennis. And that's amazing to me because she's respected. Very seldom do you hear her name, anything said negatively about her name. She's very respected. So I think that's an amazing accomplishment.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I would like to say that we operate different than a lot of other governmental entities. I am big on education as far as the public. If there is something that we can answer, we can help, you understand what we do better, whether it be day to day, year to year, whether it's on a road, a bridge, or a budget, please ask, because there is nothing that we cannot answer. And if we can't answer it, I will promise you I'll have you an answer at the end of the day. But don't ever assume that no one is doing their job or we don't know our job just because of the fact that there's so many different ways to understand county government. And we are here and willing to help you answer any questions and take you through our day-to-day operations.
I would just like to say what an honor and privilege it is, one, to serve with Commissioner Dennis, but to be, the first two females in state history to serve simultaneously in the same county. What a blessing and honor it is. Most people know that this is something that I've wanted to do since I was a little girl, and I am just so thankful for this opportunity, especially with Commissioner Dennis.
Well, you both have been a part of achieving something never done before in our state by being one of two sitting female county commissioners simultaneously serving the same county. And for us, that's a privilege. And I hope for you that you've been able to get a sense of just how easy it is to come and to put your concerns or even your praises in front of your county commissioners right here in Pottawatomie County. Thank you for being with us, and celebrate that we are the only one with 2 sitting female county commissioners simultaneously in state history.